Hi there, I'm Terry, and this is Mother Buck's Cross Stitch. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you have and you're returning, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming back. Today I'm going to talk about my WIPs. I have several, 6 or 7, something like that. And next time I'll talk about my new starts. I must have 7 or 8 new starts I want to do, but I need to get something done on these WIPs first. This first one is one that I've actually worked on for, this will be the 2nd year. I want to finish it before Christmas. It's a Christmas themed WIP. You can see it a little bit in this picture. Unfortunately, I cut it in half, but it is a Christmas scene. It's from, the designer is Joan Elliott. And this particular pattern is from Cross Stitch Crazy magazine, November of 2013. Now I told you before, I am just a junkie for magazine patterns. I just love them. And so majority of my patterns are from magazines. This one, it's almost done. I've got it on a tan 14 count, and it is a welcome sign for Christmas with the reindeer, the snowman, and of course Santa Claus and some penguins. The part I'm working on is right here. This is the only part that remains, actually, is right here. I have another heart to put up here, just like this one. Otherwise, it'll be complete. So it really wouldn't take me very long. I just need to sit down and work on it. That's number 1. Secondly, I have, this one is from Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's called High Tea, and it's not a full coverage. This one was actually the very first Heaven and Earth design I got because it wasn't full coverage, just to try it and see how I liked it. And I do like it. It's on 18 count, I believe. No, this is actually on 22 count, and that's one reason I have not gone very far with it. I've gotten the first 2 birds and partial of 2 of the cups, and I'd like to finish some more of this year. I do want to try and get more, at least the 2 cups, and the next set of birds goes right here on the handle of the teapot. You know from the last time I love teapots, so I'd really like to get this one finished. I'm not sure if when I originally started this, if I actually measured correctly for the cloth, because I may not have very much space for framing, but we'll see. And I'll try and get some more of this one done for the next time. And I use these handy dandy little bags from Temu, actually, to store my projects in. They're just a perfect size for this, for a medium-sized project, and they protect it. And I can keep my scissors and my floss and my pattern all in there. This is a fairly new one that I've started working on, and I just love the color combinations. These are my kind of colors. And this is called Wave Ball, and I don't have a picture of it. I'll try and get a picture of it and put it up here for you, what it's supposed to look like. What I've got started of it, it's actually a ball of all of those colors, and they're just kind of swirled together. And because of the colors and everything, it looks sort of like a wave. And this particular part right here that I've started on is just about, maybe 4 days work, not much. And this is on 16 count Aida, white. And the finished size is just under 9.5 inches by 10. The next one, oh, I'm sorry, this was Wave Ball, and it was from Etsy shop called Counting the Stars. I've bought several patterns from them, and I just love their work. I love the colors that they use and the fluidity of their patterns. This one, last time I showed you a finished one that I had of the flowers in the mason jars. Excuse the noise. And this one is very much like that. Let me see if I have a finished picture of it here. And it's a dimensions. This is a finished shot. And I'm pretty far ahead on this one. I don't have a whole lot more to do with it. Let me unroll this one side so you can see the entire piece. See part of it anyway, because it's kind of obscured by the frame, by the Q-snap. But you can see it's the same sort of thing with the mason jars and the wildflowers. And I have this piece, the piece I finished, and another one that I want to do to make up the entire set. And it only goes to about, I think there's one more jar after this one. So I don't have a whole lot more to do. I do like to go ahead and backstitch as I go, just because the backstitch to me just puts so much emphasis on the picture. It really brings out the detail of the picture to me. And that's one thing with the heaven and earth designs that don't have a backstitch. So it's a little getting used to how it looks for me. I'm so used to seeing things with a backstitch. I use these, if you're wondering what this is, these are the little magnet holders. I use them to hold the excess fabric so that it doesn't get in my way behind my work. But I do, as I was saying, I interrupted my own self here. I do the back stitching as I go. This one has several different colors of backstitch, but it just brings out that picture. You can see the difference between this and this, how different it looks after the backstitch is on there. Sometimes when I'm having trouble as I'm working on a piece that has backstitching, to actually get an idea of how the picture is going to look. And if I go back and do the backstitching, I'm usually much more pleased with what I'm seeing and what I've done. And this one, I hope to have at least this jar finished by the next time. I do use page protectors as well to store my patterns in. It just makes it easier for me. It's easier to handle. And I have a little pair of scissors in every bag. It just makes it easier for me to find when I need my scissors, and they're usually not very expensive. In fact, I've bought a bunch of them off of Temu again, just because they're pretty nice quality scissors and they're very inexpensive. And I think I said on the last one that was a Dimensions, and it's called Mason Jar Lineup. Next is another fairly new one that I've started on, and I found this also on Etsy from a designer by the name of Vitalia Mischuk. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. And it's called Steampunk Bee, and this is what it's going to look like. She has a whole series of insects that are steampunk, and I loved this one because it has what looks like a clock center. It's not a true clock, it's actually stitched on there. I love the colors and the way this looks, and I'm anxious to do some more of the insects, in fact, after I finish this one. And this one, I've got almost the center finished. Just about got the center here finished. I'd like to complete the top, which is the head of the bee, by the time I see you next time. We'll see how far I can get with it. I really love the way this looks. This was on 14 count too, 14 count Aida. I do wish that my material was just a little bit darker tan. This is sort of a beige ivory, but I didn't have any available at the time. And I was anxious to start it, so I didn't wait. And then the last one that I'm actively working on, I have had this pattern and been working on it for probably, I'm going to say 3 years. It's not a complicated pattern. There's just something about it. When I start it, I see something new that I'm wanting to work on, and I put it aside and start working on new things. I do want to try and finish it this year, and that is, it's a vintage pattern of a Monopoly board. It's full size. I got this one from Etsy, from C&L Crafts and Company. And because it's full size, I would like to eventually put it under glass on a small table so that we could actually use it as a Monopoly board. And I've got almost a little better than half done. But I am working on this right here, Illinois Avenue, Indiana, and Kentucky, filling in the top red part. And then it also has, of course, the Monopoly and the place for the cards that you stitch in. The finished size is 24 by 24, and I am using 18 count Aida, which is what it called for. And I found on, I believe it was on Etsy or on eBay, I think it was on Etsy, where you could buy just the money, the actual money for Monopoly, and the game pieces. So if I can get this finished and put under glass on a table, I can keep the money and game pieces so that we can actually play the game. I just think it's great. I love the fact that it's full size and the actual print and everything of the original Monopoly. And I think so far it looks really, really good. The 18 count is perfect for this. The text and everything is really pretty simple. The only thing I think I might have some issue with is the Monopoly in the middle, just because it's going at a diagonal. My mind wants to go the way, my stitch to go the way of the text itself, so it's going to involve a lot of counting for me to make sure that I get it right. But I do love this piece. And why I haven't finished it in 3 years, I couldn't tell you, other than the fact that maybe I get a little bored with it because it's so easy. I don't know. But anyway, those are all of my WIPs right now. I have at least 6 projects that I'm dying to start, but I don't want to start them until I get further or completed with at least a couple of my WIPs. I'm having so much fun doing it and knowing that I'm going to be telling you about it. And I hope that you enjoy seeing what I'm working on. As I said last time, I'd love to hear from somebody that's gone from Aida to linen or some other fabric, excuse me, so that I could see how you thought the transition was, if you thought it was as hard as I'm thinking it's going to be. Because I would really like to do some stuff on different things other than Aida, just because I love the look of them. But so far, I'm really loving what I do, and I love sharing it with you, and I hope you'll come back. I know this time it's been a month since I posted that last time. I'm hoping to do it within 2 weeks this next time so that I have something new to show you. This time it was just procrastination on my part, the reason I hadn't done it so far, but we will do them more frequently in the coming days. I do thank you for coming and letting me share my WIPs with you and share my thoughts on cross stitch and how much fun it is for me. And I hope that you enjoy seeing it too. Until next time, keep on stitching. Bye.